You got the job, you got the promotion, you got the degree. And the first thing you felt wasn't pride, it was terror, because somewhere in the back of your mind, a voice whispered, "They're going to find out. You don't belong here, and it's only a matter of time." If that voice sounds familiar, stay here, because that voice has a name, and it's been lying to you your entire life. Ziggy got promoted last month. Senior developer, better title, better pay. He should be celebrating. Instead, he's convinced HR made a mistake. The system glitched, the offer went to the wrong person, and now it's too awkward to take it back. He walks into the office every day feeling like 3 raccoons stacked in a trench coat pretending to be a real adult, and every meeting is just another chance to get caught. Yesterday, he spent 20 minutes typing "sounds good" on Slack to his manager. 20 minutes, 2 words, exclamation mark or no, period to aggressive. He wrote it, deleted it, rewrote it, deleted it again, and finally sent "sounds good" with no punctuation, then spent the next hour wondering if that was worse. That's not perfectionism, that's surveillance. He's monitoring his own words for evidence of fraud. Bruno had a different version. Last Tuesday, a server went down at work. Everyone looked at him because he's the team lead, and his only thought was, someone needs to get a real adult in here. Then it hit him. He is the adult. He's the most senior person in the room. And that didn't feel empowering. It felt like the floor dropped out from under him. Finn finished a client report in 2 hours. Clean, thorough, done. But he didn't send it. He scheduled the email for 8:47 a.m. the next morning, because if he sent it now, people would think the work was too easy. And if the work was easy, maybe he wasn't impressive. So he performed slowness. He faked being busy to avoid anyone discovering how naturally the work came to him. And Pip got a compliment from her boss. That presentation was really strong. Pip's response was instant. Oh, it was mostly the data. She deflected so fast she didn't even notice, because accepting the compliment means accepting she's good at this. And if she's good at this, the expectations go up. And if she fails next time, the mask comes off. 4 people, 4 different disguises, same fear underneath. I'm about to be exposed. Psychologist Pauline Rose Clance identified this pattern in 1978. She studied over 150 high-achieving professionals and found that they were all convinced they were frauds, despite years of objective success. She called it the imposter phenomenon. That was almost 50 years ago. Today, research shows roughly 70% of adults experience it at least once. A Deloitte study found 82% of Gen Z workers feel like imposters at work, and 3 out of 4 business leaders admit to feeling like frauds despite decades of experience. The people running the meeting feel the same way you do. They're just better at hiding it. Dr. Valerie Young broke imposter syndrome into types, and the reason this matters is it doesn't look the same in everyone. The perfectionist believes anything less than flawless is failure. Bruno got 96 on a project review and spent the week fixating on the 4 points he lost. The natural genius thinks that if something doesn't come easily, it means they're not talented. Ziggy can't master a new language in a week, so he assumes he was never smart enough for the role. The soloist believes asking for help is proof of incompetence. Finn would rather struggle for 6 hours alone than send one message asking a teammate for support. And here's what's happening in your brain when this activates. Neuroscientist Dr. Tara Swart explains that imposter syndrome triggers your amygdala, the part designed to detect threats. When you think, "I don't belong here," your brain processes it as a survival threat, not a career concern, a survival threat. Cortisol floods your system, heart rate spikes, palms sweat. Your brain is preparing you to fight or flee from a PowerPoint presentation. And if you watched episode 9, this connects directly. Childhood emotional neglect teaches you that your worth depends on performance. So when you perform well as an adult, you can't internalize it. The part of you that was supposed to learn "I am enough" never got that message. Imposter syndrome is the adult version of a childhood wound. So what do? The first tool is the evidence file. Bruno created a folder on his phone called Proof. Every positive email, compliment, good review, thank you message, screenshot into the folder. The next time Imposter Syndrome hit, he opened it. 17 screenshots, real words from real people about real work. His brain said fraud, the folder said otherwise. And for the first time, the evidence was louder than the fear. Your brain will always delete the positives and highlight the negatives. The evidence file forces it to keep a receipt. The second tool is the first time reframe. Ziggy used this in his new role. Every time his brain said, "You don't know what you're doing," he added 4 words. Because it's the first time. I don't know how to lead this project becomes, I don't know how to lead this project because it's the first time. That one reframe changes the diagnosis. You're not incompetent, you're inexperienced. And inexperience is not a character flaw, it's a stage. The third tool is the 10-minute ugly start. Pip had been putting off a report for 3 weeks, not because she couldn't do it, but because she couldn't do it perfectly. So she tried something counterintuitive. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Write the absolute worst garbage version you can, on purpose. 10 minutes of garbage. But when the timer went off, the paralysis was gone, because imposter syndrome feeds on the gap between the blank page and perfection. The ugly start closes that gap by removing perfection from the equation. Now, here's the part that changes everything. The Dunning-Kruger effect shows that people who are genuinely incompetent tend to vastly overestimate their abilities. They think they're great, zero doubt. Which means if you're sitting there worried you might be a fraud, that worry is the evidence that you're not. Real frauds don't lose sleep over whether they're qualified. They assume they are and move on. The fact that you question yourself is the strongest proof that you know what you're doing. Adam Grant puts it perfectly. Imposter syndrome doesn't mean you're a fraud. It means you're challenging yourself. It means you're in a room where you're not the most experienced person, and that's exactly where growth happens. The fear doesn't go away, but it stops being proof that you're fake and starts being proof that you're pushing your limits. Bruno still feels the whisper in meetings, but now he talks back. I've felt this way before everything I've ever done well. Maybe this isn't a warning, maybe it's a warm-up. Ziggy still types Slack messages slowly, but he sends them now, without rewriting them 10 times. Finn sent a report the same day he finished it last week, no scheduled delay. It felt reckless, nobody questioned it. And Pip? Someone complimented her yesterday. The old instinct kicked in, deflect, but this time she said, "Thank you, I worked hard on that." The world didn't end. Nobody asked for her credentials. She just let herself be good at something. So here's your challenge. Next time you think, "I don't deserve this," open your evidence file, read what's there, and ask yourself, if my best friend had my exact resume and my exact track record, would I call them a fraud? You already know the answer. Sources are in the description.